picking up the pieces, finding reminders of the past,
This picture was hand painted of my grandma and grandpa.
signs of the present,
Just did a load of laundry, and this is what's left of my load of laundry that I just did.
and a sliver of hope for the future.
Please, 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 please. Oh, God.
Friday night at exactly 8:09, while Butch Swin was at the Condors game, he got a frantic call from his neighbor.
The fire started here from an electrical short in the wall, and it probably caught the couch on fire here. That's why there's no couch.
The house was destroyed, windows shattered, furniture scorched, but every so
And,
often,
so to have that come out like this and not hurt, you know, it's like there's
a glimpse of hope.
it's like there's a God up there saying that I'm not going to take it all from you because you need some memories, and that's, you know, that's what I have.
After giving to others for his entire life and teaching his kids to do the same, Swin and his family are now on the other end.
You know, and I wish it could go to someone else, but like I say, I have to put my pride in my pocket and just say thank you and try to use whatever people can help with.
The search continued. When all hope seemed to be gone, another glimpse.
Of all the things that didn't get hurt, it's going to be a long, long road to get everything done, to tear the houses down, and all, but we'll do it. We'll dust ourselves off and get it done, and look back at it and just thank God every day that we're all here to look back at it, you know, with.
A World Series drought Cubs fans have learned to live with.
It was always just like a dream, like, will it ever happen?
The 108-year drought,
It's the best team in the National League.
Anthony Rossi says his family has learned to embrace.
When we would go to a Wrigley Field to watch the Cubs play, it was almost like going to a museum. You were just going for the experience. You really didn't, if they won, great. If they didn't, you got used to them losing.
But growing up, going to games at Wrigley Field, Rossi says this isn't something he picked. It's a tradition he was born into.
My grandfather was 92 years old, passed away avid. The only thing he did on a regular basis was water his garden and watch the Cubs play. We were faithful Cubs fans, and that's all we could be.
So in the 8th inning, with everyone at Cubbies already on the edge of their seats, the unthinkable would happen.
Oh, no.
A home run that would lead to extra innings.
It's very fitting. It just seems like that's what's supposed to happen. It's almost like it's a movie. And you couldn't write it up any better than this.
After a short rain delay, the Cubs again would pull away, this time by just enough.
There it is.
Ending that drought, taking 108 years back down to 0.
I feel like I'm watching it for him happen, and it's just outstanding, and it's just great, and it's perfect. I really don't even, words kind of fail right now. It's great. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs!
This is Ron Hagler. He works for Erskine Creek Water in Lake Isabella. He says each day is a new adventure. Today's adventure includes a digger and rain.
People are prepared for it. They know what's coming.
After a call from his boss, Hagler was put in charge of building up the berm on the edge of their property.
Just building our berms up where we got them, and we think we're ready.
Unfortunately, Hagler says besides these berms, there's not much they can do to avoid flooding, especially with 4 inches of rain expected over the next few days.
These pipes can't hold the water pressure that comes down through the Erskine Creek, and so it floods out this boulevard, and then it floods out our yard, washes away our mats.
Today, Hagler given no choice but to react to what has already happened.
The berms that were here, they were old, quite a few years old, and they just took a hard hit and washed them out in a couple good spots.
While being proactive for what is still to come.
It's just a bunch of new growth, new life. Everything's revitalizing our watershed and renewing our soil, and we're just stoked about it. We're really thankful.
Just 3 weeks ago, every seat and microphone were accounted for during the first 2017 City Council meeting. Tonight, all but one.
Tonight, we're remembering our dear friend and our beloved colleague, Council Member Jeff Tack, who passed away.
Tonight marked the first meeting since Tack's death, the loss still weighing heavily on many.
You know, I think I feel the same way as the rest of the council and just very still overwhelmed.
Everybody contributes different expertise, different feelings, and it's definitely an empty space.
A space that has to be filled. There are two options: hold a special election or have the council appoint a new Ward 5 representative.
We voted tonight to go forward with the election.
The council's vote, unanimous.
It's not a decision we wanted to make, but it seems only fair that the voters in Ward 5 determine who represents them. It's almost a full term, and that seems like the only right thing to do.
The council really believes that this decision, who fills this spot, should be decided by the residents of Ward 5.
Even though doing that will cost almost $100,000, the council believes holding a special election is what's best.
We had the budget conversation tonight too, and you know, money is tight, but democracy, I say, is not always the cheapest thing, and sometimes it's messy, but that's what we do.
If you're driving past Real Road on Stockdale Highway, the first thing you see is a sign for a church. But just behind that, another sign, one that has people talking.
This sign, much like Jesus' ministry, asks, who is my neighbor? And how do we look at each other as neighbor?
The words immigrants and refugees welcome run across the sign. Staubenfeld says the sign was put in place just before Christmas this past year and well before President Trump's executive orders, explaining their decision was not influenced by politics.
Everyone is loved. The word all is peppered throughout the gospel. There are no exception clauses.
As we walked to the sanctuary, Staubenfeld explained the staff saw nothing wrong with making it known their doors are always open, especially in a time with 65 million refugees scattered across the world.
There's always room. We have people, rich, poor. We have people of white, brown, black. We have folk who are straight and gay and trans, and we welcome all.
Staubenfeld saying he believes that diversity and their open door policy is part of what makes their congregation unique and special, because in reality, a sign is just a sign.
The number of people whose lives have been transformed is incredible, because not everyone believes or has ever felt that they were cared for.
So you can see the car like spark up on the sidewalk.
Amy Escobedo says this crash happened in the middle of the night Tuesday after two cars came racing down the street. The sound of the crash loud enough to wake her son.
We didn't really, hear anything, so my son told us, Mom, somebody crashed outside. We got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't see anything.
The next morning, though, Escobedo says the marks left behind showed something had happened. Her security cameras proving her son was right.
They came towards our house at a high speed rate, and they took this corner and they lost control and apparently hit our sidewalk.
Escobedo quick to say this isn't the first time people have gone racing through their neighborhood, but with her house where it is, she is concerned.
Our house is on the corner, and I'm always worried about somebody crashing into our home. I mean, it was just, it could have been one slip up where that guy couldn't get control of his car, and it could have ended up in our home.
Escobedo admitting it's easy to lose track of how fast you're going, saying she'd like to see something change, even if it means adding speed bumps in the neighborhood.
I see a lot of neighbors around, they have the little, slow kids at play. I don't necessarily know if that works, but any little thing that we can do as a community, it would be great.
And just walking around here today when I got here, just a sense of pride.
But what it means most of all to me is that they were willing to give up their lives for this country.
He's known as Gunnery Sergeant Lopez. He was tell people he's a hard charger. He was hard on us, but every time I hear taps or the national anthem, I stand up with pride and just kind of give him a moment.
My brothers and my son, it's a sad time for me, and it hurts like crazy, but I appreciate the fact that they have this program out there to honor those men that died for their country.
My first interest in God and church was through music.
For us to tell it through song, for us to tell it through the spoken word is how we pass down our information from generation to generation.
When we were growing up, she would sing this, one of these old gospels, that Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. So when I left home from high school, going off to the Marine Corps, I had a recording of her, and I would play that gospel song all the time to, you know, bring me back home.
It becomes emotional just to think about how we are blessed to be here, how we're allowed just one more day. If it just be that day that we still can lift up the name of Jesus.
I'm always praying that the words that I sing can be a blessing to someone. If not everyone, at least one person, that they can feel what I feel when I'm singing, because I'm pouring out all of my emotions and pouring out all the spirit that I have within me for God.
Gospel is simply spreading the good news of Jesus Christ, you know, and what he came to the world to do.
The Spirit of the Lord in song.
It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's a spirit.
It's good news, a better day is coming, that this is just, you know, a pilgrimage.
Just to look to the future and know that, you know, we have hope for tomorrow, that things are going to get better. No matter how they are, things are going to get better.